Welcome to the build of the classic tugboat, and we call it a tugboat, but you know, this boat was loosely inspired by the orca from the movie Jaws. Step one, you got to cut out all of the pattern pieces. Just take the paper, then trace around them onto the cardboard, and then of course cut the cardboard out. And also pay attention to the grain markings. You know, so you lay it out on the cardboard with the grain if you need to, because you're going to have to bend some of this cardboard later. So pay attention to the grain markings. Now you're going to write the assigned letter onto each piece so that you can identify what piece goes next. Take both piece A's, because there'd be two of them, and bend the bottom of them, and as shown here, in the first 2 or 3 corrugated lines, and that'll do it. So right along those first 2 or 3 corrugated lines. Next step, take piece A, and then you're going to bend them up in the opposite direction along the grain, as we're showing you right here. You can see the grain, and just go ahead and bend them. And you're going to actually bend on every corrugation line. Now, after you've bent onto every corrugation line, after you've bent them, you're going to go ahead and you're going to take some glue, and you're going to glue both of those A pieces together. You can use more glue than maybe even you think. And don't forget, if you're using hot glue, make sure you're using some gloves or some kind of clip or something to hold that thing until it's dry. Now what you're going to do, once things have cooled off or dried, you're going to add a lot of glue along the edge of your bow or the front of the boat. Make sure you fill in all the corrugation holes along the edge. We need a lot of strength at this step to create a nice seam. The glue will run all of the way to the point indicated here. HUD means hold until dry. Congrats. You've made a taco. No, we're kidding. Unless you're actually eating a taco while you're building this cool tugboat, then, well, anyway, forget about tacos. Okay, next we're going to cut some lines into the front of the boat to make shaping the bow easier and to make this thing really look cooler than cool. For the first cut, measure 1 inch down from point A, as indicated here, and then mark it with a pencil. Then, go to the front of the bow, measure a 1/2 inch down right, cut all the way through both pieces. You may want to cut in 3 or 4 passes to get all the way through. Okay, and you get deeper each time, all right, so that you're not forcing it and you're not bending the cardboard. So, you know, kind of scratch through until you bust all the way through. This will allow you to move slowly and safely. And now you're going to measure 1 1/4 inches down from your first cut line and repeat the cutting process all the way through. Repeat again, and then one more time. You'll end up with 4 lines cut all the way through. Cuts 2, 3, and 4 can each be progressively longer by about 1/4 inch or so. Okay. Next, you're going to pinch and compress along the edge. This will make it look cool, and you know what? It's also preparing you for the next step. It shows just how compressing and pinching that edge makes for a really cool looking bow that'll cut right through the water. See how the master cardboard builder is using the back of his hand and fingers to shape the bow by separating the cuts that you just cut in the last step? Believe it or not, the hard part's over. It's smooth sailing from here out. Notice I said sailing, get it? Sailing, a boat, get it? Anyway, if you want to, you can even reinforce with more glue, just as we're showing you here. Take piece B, which is actually the back of the boat. You're going to fit it into place as shown, and then you're going to glue it. Hang on to it. Take your time on this one and hold until dry. Now, identify PC. And we're going to apply some glue right here and put glue onto PC as shown. So the glue side is affixing to the sides of the boat. And then you're going to HUD, hold until dry. Now be careful, again, if you're using hot glue, this is hot. See the line that indicates that you're going to scratch through that top layer using your ruler or an X-Acto knife or the edge of scissors. When you're finished, it should look just like this. Remember those cuts that you made on the bow earlier? Well, this piece is inserted just under that first cut, which is about an inch. So the edge of the boat is about an inch above this thing. Now notice how the edges are bent to fit the contour of the sides. All right. Glue where the cardboard meets the cardboard sides. Now see how we're holding up the edges to prep them to receive some glue? Now put glue on all the edges and HUD, hold until dry. More glue is better in this instance, trust me. Now identify piece F. The plans will show you the grain and the bend lines, which you can pencil onto them if you want to before cutting out. Sometimes people like to do this, and it's not a bad idea to do that. Just kind of pencil some lines on there. This shows how to be configured to fit right into place here. And now you'll see how we glue it into place. Make sure that F and C are snug to keep things straight. Now you'll glue it in place just like this. And now we're going to be ready for the stairs. You should find two identical pieces that are marked E. Notice how the front side of E will affix to the outside bow. Add more glue to add stability for the left or the port side of your craft. HUD, just like in every step. Now you'll place it into the right or starboard side of the boat. Affix the glue along the edges and fit it into place. Now take a minute and identify pieces I, J, K, and L. We're going to glue them all together as shown to make the pilot's cabin. Now let's get started with the cabin. See, here are the two pieces marked I. There are two of them. They are the sides of the cabin. Piece J is the back of the cabin, and K is the front. L is the roof of the cabin. Now notice there's a slant. This is on purpose so it will fit perfectly on top of piece F. Glue all of the edges. Identify piece G. Bend G along the lines that they're shown on the templates. These become the stairs. Piece G attaches in the middle of piece F at the top and C at the bottom. So it attaches to F and C. Hold until dry. Now, the next steps aren't necessary, but it kind of gives it a cool look to your tugboat. Identify piece M. And there's going to be 2 of them. Glue them into place just as we show you here. So you're going to identify piece N. It's going to go right on the front. Notice that there are 2 sizes of circles that you've cut out. Take the larger ones that are marked O. Pop a little dollop of glue in the center of each one of them, and then look at this sequence for placement. Now you'll repeat this process into the right or starboard side of the boat. Hey, you're done. You are now an official tugboat captain. And if you want to, you can go out into the water. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, never mind. Have fun.